All right, so this week we are talking about behavior change. The idea here is, it's not really any point to working out if you're just going to do it for the 16 weeks we're in the semester, and all you're going to do is the couple of little workouts for 1 hour, less than 1 hour we do in class. So, and it's more than just working out too, but, health and fitness, we're going to talk about, a number of different things, I guess, that you could be changing, not just working out, like maybe quitting smoking, eating better, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But general barriers to fitness, lack of time, lack of knowledge, lack of facilities, and fatigue. We all say that we don't have time. I'm a busy person. I'm working 40 plus hours a week here at the school. I'm doing my training at my gym. I have 2 kids. I have a wife. I have a busy, busy time. My kids are involved in things like karate. They're in some after-school sports. So really, when it comes down to it, you can't say you don't have time. It's just, are you willing to make the time? There was a point in my life where, I watched like 4, 5, 6 hours of TV a day easily. Now I'm lucky if I watch an hour and a half. So I can't watch every show out there. I pick the ones that I want to watch. And then, of course, weekends and stuff like that, hey, maybe I can catch up. Lack of knowledge. Well, hey, that's what we're here for. That's why we did the day in the gym where we actually demonstrated a number of movements, and be happy to demonstrate more if there's still questions. Go out and ask too. Go get a coach. Go to a gym where they offer some training sessions. Get the knowledge. Sometimes people are just afraid to ask. Lack of facilities. Hey, you're not always going to be a student here. Some gyms are expensive. At $10 a month, a lot of these Planet Fitness type places, they're good. You might as well take and get that membership. But who knows? You might live in a community where you don't have that, and so you have limited opportunities. So you might have to make those opportunities. Go out, buy a dumbbell set, buy some weights. Like I said, just body weight can be pretty good. And then fatigue. You're tired. You get done with work. You're done with classes. You've done all your homework. You're tired. All you want to do is sit down. I get it. Sometimes, again, you gotta find that time. You gotta schedule yourself there. In police work, we have a couple barriers too. The shift work. And again, we're in the age of 24-hour gyms, the Planet Fitnesses and whatnot. So it's not like a great barrier, but it's still one there that you're working all night. You don't want to be going to the gym at 7 in the morning. They're not open when you're awake. We have long hours. So not only, as an officer, are you dealing with wife, kids, family, whatnot, but then you have to deal with the fact that you're putting in a 12-hour shift. So your day is taken up. You're bored, we don't have, you get done with work and you just want to put your feet up. It kind of goes along with that fatigue. Same with lack of sleep. You're working night shift. You got court in the daytime. Poor weather too. You're working nights. You'd like to do something in the daytime. You don't want to just be sitting there in the daylight hours sleeping. You want to go out and do stuff. But, you also have to go to the gym, and the gym's inside. You're not getting any sunlight, whatever the case may be. All right, so let's touch here on motivation. 2 types of motivation. Extrinsic and intrinsic. The idea here is we're looking at what is outside influence and what is an internal or a personal factor. So outside influences, something like you're just trying to get a job. You need to get fit so that you can, get this job. You can get into the academy. Maybe some departments offer, like a pay raise. If you pass the fitness test and you get a certain score, you get certain pay bump. You get 1% or 5%. Maybe we're going for a promotion. You want to join the SWAT team. You want to make some sort of special team. And so you are, going to get back into shape. You also have your personal factors. Maybe you just haven't been feeling so great. You want to feel better. You want to look better. Swimsuit season's coming up, and you realize, boy, I'd like to look a little bit better in my swimsuit, or you're, in uniform. You're noticing that boy, you don't fill it out. You'd like to get those broader shoulders, look more intimidating in your uniform, whatever the case. A lot of times for some people, fitness and working out and healthy lifestyles, it becomes a hobby. You just like to do it. Ray Lee is a great example of this. He does the Brazilian jiu-jitsu stuff. He doesn't do it because he has to. He just loves rolling around and fighting people. Hats off to him. It keeps him in shape, and it's a fun hobby for him. So the thing with motivation, though, is your outside motivations aren't as strong as internal. Once you get the job, what's going to keep you keeping fit? Once you get that promotion, what's going to keep you fit? Maybe you make the SWAT team, and so you have to maintain a certain level of fitness to stay on the SWAT team. So that's going to keep you motivated. But what happens when you're no longer on the SWAT team? What happens when, do you want to just meet that standard, or do you want to exceed that standard? And so you're just, trudging along, meeting that standard, which is why we sometimes have to go out and we have to find our why. So we have to take that outside motivation and figure out a way to internalize it also, which is why we have an assignment called the 5 whys, because the cliche is, what's your why? I want to be fit because I have kids and I don't want to have a heart attack. Okay. But what is the reason that you think you're going to have a heart attack? What is the reason that you need to get fit for your kids? Well, whatever. Well, why is the above answer important? Well, it's because, maybe like with the idea, I have kids and I want to have a heart attack, Well, why is that important to you? Well, because, I'd like to see my kids grow up, and why is that important? Why is it important to see your kids grow up? Well, maybe, your dad passed away early, like my dad died when I was in my mid-30s. And so my dad never got to meet my grandkids. And so, I'd kind of like to make sure that I'm around a little bit longer than my dad was so that, I can see my grandkids if I have them. Why will this make a difference? Well, I think about my life with my grandparents, and my kids don't get that. My dad was awesome. My dad was pretty cool. So that's why, that would make a difference. And why will that difference matter? Well, I think that there are some things that you can learn. There's some things that I learned from my grandparents that my kids, that I did not learn from my dad. And so there are some things probably that my dad could pass on to my kids that they won't get from me. But now they won't get it because he's gone. So you see where this is coming from, where, oh, crap, now I see how this affects not only my life, but somebody else's life. And now suddenly some outside motivation becomes internal. I'm doing it not just for me, I'm doing it for some other people around me, and we've done some things. So I hope that makes sense for the 5 whys. I felt like I started kind of rambling. I'm almost tempted to erase this and start the recording over, but I'm not going to. All right, so our stages of change. When it comes time to change, you've identified your why. You don't always have to identify your why before you start, but it seems like that helps people. So this is where we end up. We have like this thing called pre-contemplation, and then you have your contemplation, pre-contemplation. You don't really realize you need to make a change, but you figured out your why. That's kind of where contemplation is. You start to prepare. You're like, well, why do I need to change? This is why. Maybe you had a bad doctor's appointment, whatever. So you check out a couple gyms, and you see what's available. Finally, you join one. You start working out, and you get to the point where you're where you want to be. You're getting into your goal area. And so then it just becomes maintenance. We just got to keep doing what we're doing. And so when we talk about this, a lot of times people think it's this linear thing where, all right, I'm just cruising along. I don't even realize something's wrong. I go to the doctor. The doctor tells me my blood pressure's out of whack and I'm drinking too much and blah, 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 blah. And so I start thinking, well, maybe I should get back in shape. And, I spend some time contemplating it. Maybe I go check out some gyms. Next thing you know, I join one, and then, boom, here I am, But it doesn't work like this. It's more like this, where we don't have a realization that we have a problem. Then we kind of, oh yeah, I better do something about it. Maybe you think, I'm not into it. Yeah, okay, so we check something out. We go check out some gyms. Yeah, and they were all, okay, I'll check out some more. Yeah, and then you go back, man, I don't know. Oh yeah, I guess maybe we go and we start preparing. Maybe go on Amazon, see maybe you can buy some home gym equipment. Buy something. I never use it, and then finally went and checked out a couple gyms, did some free workouts. All right, now I joined one, and now I'm staying there. So you see where this is coming from. Where it's not this boom. You go from beginning to end. It's a journey. Some people it's a straight line. Some people it's all over the map. So be aware of that. You could be in any of these stages. You can easily bounce back a stage. You can easily move forward a stage, and you can jump, stages too. That you can be like, all right, I need to do something, and I'm going to get on Amazon right now. And so suddenly you have contemplation and preparation like that. But change takes time, folks. We kind of say on average, habits can take about 21 days to set in, usually about 66 days for them to be like built-in routines. Habits also can be broken. It can take as little as 1 day to break some habits. Typically we talk about 15 days for routines to just be completely smashed where you can't get back in the swing of things. But on average, it's about 30 days for habits to be broken. You start thinking about why now, some of these different companies have the 21-day challenge and the 24-day challenge. Well, they're trying to get you in a spot where you're breaking your routines of unhealthy eating, of smoking, of drinking, of whatever, and getting you into that spot where you've starting to establish healthy eating habits. So, while sometimes I've been known to make fun of these, pyramid scheme companies, their marketing, it's marketing, it's gimmicky, but yet at the same time, it's kind of like, all right, they're actually trying to do something for folks, which is pretty good. And when you look at a lot of your challenges at gyms and stuff, you have, boot camps and stuff, and a lot of times they will be, 4 weeks, 6 weeks. So we're pushing closer to the 66 from the 21, where they're going a little bit longer. But some places do a 1 month challenge too. How do you maintain habits? Well, be prepared. You're going to relapse. People are going to have days where, they get off routine. Things happen too. Have alternatives. You have a blizzard and you can't leave the house. Well, maybe you can't work out at your gym, but you can do stuff at home. You can do body weight. Maybe you get a boo-boo. You get a hurt injury. You can't do specific movements, but there are alternatives. There are things you can do. Accountability is great. Have a workout partner. Have somebody you work out with, whether it's a friend or your spouse or just somebody you meet on Craigslist. I'd be leery of some Craigslist people, but you know what I'm saying. But get accountability. Hire a coach even. For me, that's what's working best for me in life is the fact that I go to a gym and I have a coach. And I'm kind of accountable to that coach. And that coach keeps an eye on me. Control your environment. If you're going to be drinking and you need to quit drinking, get rid of the alcohol. If you eat crap food, don't keep crap food in your house. Don't go buy a bunch of chips. You don't want to eat them. Have the positive things handy. So if you need to, pack your gym bag and at night and put it there in your car. So tomorrow when you get in the car to come to school, your gym bag's already there. You can't forget it. Manage your stress when you get stressed out. Sometimes we stress eat, we stress drink, we stress smoke. Please don't use injectables. Probably don't want to be smoking pot, but you know what I'm saying. And figure out the things that cause you stress. Find your triggers and get away from them. Now, obviously, us as your instructors might cause stress, so you can't get away from us until you graduate. But you know what I'm saying? Figure out the stuff. If certain things, if you got a job, you might not be able to say like, I don't want to go to work anymore. But find out the things that trigger some of your stress that cause you to veer towards the fast food, the wine, the beer, the booze, the cigarettes, the whatever, and figure out ways to minimize your exposure. And don't forget to reward yourself, folks. Cheat meals. We have them for a reason. Now, granted, sometimes cheat meals and cheat days are not the best thing because then we start planning for them and we start looking forward to them. You can do it unplanned. You can be like, man, I've had a rocking week at the gym and I feel like ordering a pizza tonight because I don't feel like cooking. Not a big deal. Do it. For me, like I said before, I used to watch all kinds of TV. I still play video games. I used to play video games for hours on end too. Now it's like, okay, I go to work, I go to the gym, I go home, I eat dinner, and it's only after the kids are in bed and we've done a bunch of stuff that needs to be done around the house. That's when the TV goes on, and that's my wind down, or that's when the Xbox goes on. It's not until after I've done what needs to be done. Give yourself a date night plan. You work out, you've done good hard work. Maybe, it's not just a cheat meal, but it's going out to eat. Whatever's meaningful to you. If you don't like video games, don't reward yourself with video games. If you don't watch TV or movies, don't reward yourself with that. But find rewards that work for you, things that you might have to kind of scale back on to get into the fitness lifestyle, but you can still enjoy as a reward. All right, does anybody have any questions? If so, let me know. I will see you in class on Friday. Otherwise, have an awesome week.